So, yeah, this is the different ways that we can preserve them. So I thought I'd bring out a couple that we made. These are stock bottles again. In fact, this is a pink lollipop grevillea that we did in July 2017, and this is from a type of mandarin called the Imperial Mandarin.
Oh yeah.
So we got the flowers of that, made our own essences. So I got a bunch of these bottles
Yeah.
stored, and again, I muscle test to see if we need them.
Yeah.
We could then, what these companies would do is then put these into a smaller bottle,
Right.
bottle them, label them,
Yep.
get a nice label, and then sell them
Yeah.
as flower essences.
Right.
So the great thing about it too is nobody can patent a flower essence because it's from God, it's from nature. So some pharmaceutical company,
Right.
which is also why they're always going to discredit it.
Right.
Of course, they're going to launch one of their smear campaigns, or it's not scientific, or it's, try and make out it's hoo-ha
Right.
bullshit or whatever. So anyway, that's some of our stock bottles I thought I'd show you.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I just get out there. We get out there in the garden in the morning, get a bunch of bowls and glass bowls or pewter bowls or metal bowls or something. Put the flowers in some natural. We just use rainwater.
Yeah.
And off we go. So, you can use the brandy. That's what Dr. Bach originally used. So just, a bottle of brandy.
Yep.
Or for people who are alcoholics or alcohol sensitive, this is glycerin. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's quite almost sickly sweet for some
yeah.
people. So those are two major forms of preservative.
Okay.
So that's then a dosage bottle. We just washed it out, cleaned it out. So you would put, a bit of glycerin in there.
Half, you said?
I would say a third, or even a quarter would be fine. Yeah. And then you would fill that up with rainwater, spring water, rainwater. And I think as long as it's a nice pure kind of water, and obviously we're out here.
So
in
I
the bush.
drop all these in here?
And then drop those in there. And then I would take that over a few days. For me, I'm quite used to flowers.
So squeeze it up.
About 4 drops of each one. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 or 5. Then put them. Make sure you know which ones you've done. So separate them, and then And for me, what I do is because I'm used to them, they act quite quick on me. So I actually have a big water bottle which I use throughout the day. I drink my water from.
Yeah.
And I just put them in that. I don't put any preservative with them because I'm going to be drinking them within one day. And I find because I'm used to flower essences, I can feel the correction.
You're not going to drink your whole thing in one day.
No.
You drink just all your water in one day.
Just the water in one day. So that's another way to do it. Because, like I say, I'm a bit more used to it. They act pretty quick with me because I take them on a regular basis.
And then how much would a bottle like this cost?
In a store, you're going to pay $15 or $20 for it. Maybe 12 at the least, but probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a few $1,000s worth of flower essences here. But as I say, you don't, if you've got a nice garden or, access to a botanical garden where they don't mind you using some of their flowers, you can make your own.
Oh, yeah, right.
So that's the great thing about it. And they'll never, get so expensive because if they do, somebody else will come in and undercut them. It's not like, even though these might have a nice label and they're Dr. Bach's flower essences, Dr. Bach doesn't own the willow tree.
Right.
So he doesn't patent these,
Yeah.
Anybody can go to a willow tree, get the flowers and make a big essence,
Right.
bottle it and undercut somebody,
Right. Right.
So there'll always be a certain limit to how, unlike a pharmaceutical drug or something, which could be quite expensive,
Right.
And these don't have any negative side effects whatsoever. Even if you get the wrong remedy,
Right.
it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And that's different than homeopathy. A lot of people think, oh, are they the same as homeopathy? No, they're not the same as homeopathy because this isn't, percussed. What they do in homeopathy is they take something the like cures like, so they take a venom of a snake that causes paralysis in somebody and they use it to treat paralysis, but they dilute it enormously. These aren't diluted like that.
Yeah.
They're actually, you would find the bits of plant material and flower material in these,
Right.
Because they're just basically like I've drunk water
Yeah.
of when I made and you can taste that flower. Like I said, with those golden, you definitely could taste it.
Right.
So these aren't homeopathic, even though he was a homeopath. So obviously my water then is going to taste, because I'm putting that many flower essences in.
Right.
It's going to have a little bit of brandy in there. All right. Some people don't like that. You know, the only way around it is to make your own essences and not use brandy in the stock bottle. And some of
So
these,
most of these have brandy. Some of them have brandy.
they all have
They all
brandy.
brandy. Okay.
Very a few of them will make stock bottles in glycerin, but they're hard to get.
I see.
Very hard to get. So yeah, that's just something to be careful of for people who are completely alcohol intolerant. You know.
Right.
And there will be that tiny, I mean, you know, even in my water bottle here, because I'm putting 4 drops, but because I had about 15 or 20, there's a small amount. That's going to be a little bit of alcohol. So if somebody can't deal with that, then, you know, like I said, either make your own or find what they're called, I think they're called, you know, flower essences and glycerin.
So when you, I fill this with water and then
And then
And
take 4 drops
like,
under your tongue.
on your tongue.
And think about and meditate like on that, on the energy of that.
Uh-huh.
So don't just swallow it, but actually have it there, and let it kind of merge into your consciousness. And then do that at least 4 times a day.
Yeah.
You could do 10. You know, it depends. Like I say, Dr. Bach's rescue remedy, or 5-flower formula they call it here, is something people take every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Until the anxiety's gone, or until they're, so it's not like there's a hard and fast. It's just about like how, again, how long and deep seated something is. It's going to take a bit more time. You want to kind of edge away at that, like shifting huge amounts of consciousness, blockages in consciousness at one time can be a little bit, it takes some time. We get into these rigid thought patterns or different modes or thing, and where some things are quicker, you know. And some people are more sensitive and can shift things quicker too. The less attached you are, the more you realize that you're not your mind. Like a lot of spiritual principles we talk about. You're not the body, you're not the mind. But some people think they are their mind. They don't recognize the existence of their spirit, so they're attached to the mind. I am my mind. I am my thoughts, and that makes it more difficult because that's not actually true. We can look at our thoughts, even our political views. My political views might be quite different than what they were 30 years ago.
Right.
My thoughts might, I've learned so much and I've changed and I'm going to change. So I'm not my mind, and I think that's a really important principle to understand about the whole thing of flower essences. And the more you understand that, the more you can just let go of the mind and go, yeah, I might have certain imbalances in my mind, but that's not me. And, want to be true to my spirit or back into my dharma or my life path,
So we're like allowing, like what we're doing in life, decisions and thoughts we're making, we're essentially putting on ourselves this type of influence. And these essences can balance those influences on us and bring awareness to it.
Yeah.
And then we can start to think about how we can also make decisions and catch those thoughts maybe early and not allow them to take seed.
I call them thought viruses too, because people can put thought viruses into our head, like somebody, a younger child, somebody tells, oh, you're not good enough, you're nothing, that's a thought virus, and then that lodges, oh, I'm not good enough, or it can be that you're not pretty, or you're not handsome, or you're not this, you're not that, some other stupid thing, and I call them thought viruses. So a large part of health, mind, body, spirit health, is getting rid of thought viruses, and we can do that through rain or massage, and go in there and find where's it stored in the body and get them to breathe into it and let it go, or we can do it through the flower essences on that internal way, and then that will shift. Sometimes flower essences can also produce a healing response,
Right.
like there's yerba santa flower essence often produces a way of releasing of crying.
Right.
It's an interesting plant, the yerba santa. It's called the holy herb as well. So there's a lot of different ways that flower essences can work, and they can also produce healing crises as we let go of our old stuff. So very interesting, very powerful, quite amazing. I think it's a new form of medicine. I think it's the medicine for the future. So it's because it's there, and as I say, it's a people's medicine, like massage. It's not the corporate medicine, and that's something that appeals to me. I'm really into people's medicine. It can't be controlled and patented and stuff, Yeah. Anybody can do it. And as I say, you'll see later today, as you go through the day and you take these, you'll feel the effects of the flower essences.
Yeah.
And I will too. I'll probably feel a lot better. I knew I needed to do some flower essences today. I was like, kind of in a shitty mood. Not in a shitty mood, but I just feel like a lot of stuff was going on. I haven't done them
Time
for
for a
quite a while.
shift.
time for a shift. I've been away, so I didn't have my flower essences, and yeah, a lot going on. My 50th coming up, you know,
Yeah.
a lot going on. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So
Excited
I
to
love
try
it.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Do another video on how I feel.
How you feel? Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right.